Hey, I'm not surprised, motherfuckers.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Courtside Soundoff podcast. Once again, I'm Josh Evanoff. As always, welcomed by the one and only Angel Ortega. Lots to talk about this week. Obviously, UFC London, UFC Columbus. Some quick news pieces. Obviously, Jorge Masvidal, Colby Covington had their rematch down at the Poppy Steak Bar in Miami. We'll get to that in a bit. However, as always, we are brought to you by Rogue Energy. If you want 10% off your order at RogueEnergy.com, use the code SOUNDOFF at checkout. Let's go SOUNDOFF at checkout for 10% off of all your energy needs. You guys are very well aware they have been a sponsor of the show for a long time. And, yeah, so just feel free to go ahead and go to RogueEnergy.com. It's code SOUNDOFF and get yourself something nice. Last Saturday night from I believe, the O2. Yeah, the O2 Arena in London, England. UFC London headlined Alexander Volkov, Tom Aspinall. By far one of the best fight nights in a long, long time. Tom Aspinall, we'll start off with the main event. Tom Aspinall defeating Alexander Volkov via straight armbar, round 1, 345. I mean, look, if you're going to beat Alexander Volkov, you need to go make a statement. Obviously, Tom Aspinall, this fight was essentially even going in, betting-wise, and, giving Volkov only the 5th loss via stoppage in his entire career out of 45 fights. Angel, quick impressions on Tom Aspinall defeating Volkov in the first.
I mean, that was insane to me, man. I mean, it hadn't happened. I mean, you have to go back and look at 2018 with the Derek one, and that was late. But before that, Josh, it hadn't been since 2013 by Minikov. And we had talked about that on a podcast, and that was back in the Bellator days. So it had been a while, right? Before that, or after that, it had all been mostly decisions, split decisions. Some of them very obvious, some of them not. But, I did not expect that at all, and let alone a submission, man. I mean, I could have seen a finish on the feet, but it would have been very late, I think. But a submission, I didn't even have that as a realm of possibility.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think part of it is just how effortless it was. I mean, he got him down. He took him down twice, I believe, but once he got him down that second time, it was just super easy, dude. Got to side control and just immediately got the armbar. I mean, for a guy we've seen Volkov been wrestled a lot. I feel like his biggest issue is his takedown defense, but even then, once you get him down, you can't really do a whole lot. That's always been one of his pros. Obviously, he's not great at stuffing the takedown, but once he gets down there, he can get up pretty easily. And he's great defensively on the ground. But dude, just amazing, effortless. He gets on the mic afterwards, and he calls out Tai Tuivasa. He's not normally a big call-out guy, but he decided to get on, call him out. How do you feel about that one being next?
I mean, I think it's a really good match for him. It's a guy who has hype. He has hype now a bit around him. So it makes sense, right, why you would call him out. Hard one for Tai, let me tell you, especially the way Tom Aspinall was looking. The kind of competition he's taken out recently, but in all finishes too, man. I think, has he even gone to a decision since being in the UFC?
Tom Aspinall?
Yeah.
I'm 99% sure, but let me just double check real quickly. Pull up the record. Oh, actually, never mind. He's had all finishes, either via submission or via knockout.
Yep, mostly all in the first round, with the exception of the Andre one in the second.
Yep.
And that was also a submission.
Yep, and I believe that's the only time Arlovsky's been finishing in the last couple of years as well.
Let alone by submission as well.
Yeah, so it's been a long time. Yeah, dude, he's I'll be honest. We both picked Volkov partly just because we're so high on Volkov. But man, I mean, I'll be honest. I did not expect him. I thought Tom Aspinall looked good in his previous fights, but I always thought, he's going to be a work in progress guy. He's still in his 20s. No, man, not a chance. Not a chance. Effortless win. I mean, there's not a whole lot to say about it, honestly. It was just insane. It was about as easy a win you're going to see. But regardless, I mean, what do you even have to say about it at this point? He's ranked number 6, I believe. Tai Tuivasa, I think, makes sense for the next fight. I think at this point, the heavyweight division has got to get moving. John Jones, hopefully, will fight at some point. Stipe Miocic. I know Stipe just became a full-time firefighter, so you know, we're talking about him coming back. I don't know if he's really going to. But, we'll see what happens. Heavyweight division's got to get moving, man. It really does. But moving on down to the co-main event, we said that Arnold Allen doesn't really have a whole lot to benefit with a win over Dan Hooker. Rankings-wise, he, I believe, stayed at number 6. However, damn did he look good, dude. I mean, knocking out Dan Hooker in the first round, not really knockout, TKO, standing TKO, but he bludgeoned him on the feet. He looked like a mess afterwards. A little bit depressing if you're a fan of the Hangman, but regardless, the Almighty getting another huge win, continues the winning streak. It's a performance of the night bonus at the end. Angel, Arnold Allen, we've been talking about he needs that signature win. He goes out, he gets it in style. What do you think about him and his performance at UFC London?
It's good. It's a good win. I mean, it was expected, obviously shocking for Dan Hooker, but I did say, Josh, I for some reason I had a bad feeling. I thought it was going to end in a finish. And I mean, he was hurt in that fight too. I mean, don't get me wrong, but I think we knew where it was going to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think, look, man, I love Dan Hooker. I love that dude a lot. Just as a person, also as a fighter. I mean, you've never seen him not be game as fuck, dude. He obviously took the fight with, Islam Makhachev whenever nobody wanted to. He just fought a couple of weeks prior. Super game guy. I did not like the move down to 145, and I really think this kind of shows, man. I really think this kind of puts a stamp on it. It's just not a good move for him. He did not look good when he was down to the first time. And this time, I mean, Arnold Allen is very, very good. However, this is the first time he's ever gotten a stoppage win, in the UFC. That's a bad look, dude. That's a bad look. Especially whenever Dan Hooker's always been a guy known for actually having an amazing chin. As far as the stoppage goes, I actually saw Israel Adesanya complain about it. Saying that, it's bullshit. Some people have, referee could have let it gone longer. You've seen more stoppages. You didn't have a problem with the stoppage, right? I just wanted to get your quick.
No. It's not anything bad in my opinion.
Yeah, fair enough. That's kind of where I am. Because I saw, Arnold Allen talk about it. He was like, dude, Dan didn't even complain. That tells you all you need to know. Yeah, man, I don't really know what to say about this one. As far as, we talked about it going in, that kind of the fight really doesn't do a whole lot for him benefit, rankings-wise. But in terms of making a statement, dude, he really did. I mean, he goes out there, bludgeons Dan Hooker. Dan's known for having a tremendous chin, and Arnold has never gotten a TKO win until that night. Absolutely huge win for him in terms of raising his stock. Once again, did not move up in the rankings at all. But, I think we'll see Arnold Allen in a title eliminator sooner rather than later. Moving on down the card, normally I'd ask you what fight we need to talk about next. We'll just move one down, man. Paddy the Baddy Pimblett defeating Kazula Vargas. First round submission. Once again, he gets rocked. He took some huge shots early in the round. He goes down, but he recovers. He reverses, hits a beautiful judo toss. Gets a submission. Dude, Paddy the Baddy. Are you sold yet? Are you getting sold not only in the star power, because we know that he's a huge star, we know he brings numbers, but in terms of him potentially being still only 26 years old, I believe? Do you think he could potentially work his way to being a title contender, or do you think he's still a little bit overhyped?
I mean, let's be honest. If you're a prospect, you're probably overhyped to begin with, right? Because you're a complete unknown. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I think you say you're overhyped, or we say someone's overhyped once we come to the official conclusion that you weren't hyped at all, or you shouldn't have had any hyped, right?
I suppose, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just want to put my perspective on it. But, I mean, yeah, man. I mean, it's evident, right, that he is this guy who has a lot of attention around him and will continue to grow, and a lot of people are still finding out about him and getting to know him, who maybe are newer to the sport or been following the sport but don't follow it as deep, and they're kind of finding this new interesting personality. As far as him, though, I mean, there's some growth to be had, right? Like with any young fighter, right? And it could just be the matchups, right? It could just be how these guys just want to be tough and wanted to go at him because they know he carries his hype and they need to get him out of there. And it could be, it could be their own downfall that he's, finding success in some ways, but also having these scary moments. It could be a combination of a number of things. But, I think there's potential though. Like any young fighter, there's potential there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he did show the potential. Obviously, this is his second straight finish win, second straight, in the first round as well. Obviously, the first one was a first round knockout over Luigi Venturmini. This one, first round submission, Kazula Vargas. Man, I'm trying to be, this actually just made me sound like a dick. And I said it to you because we actually watched the fights.
Because you are a dick, Josh. No, I'm just kidding.
I am a bit of a dick, but, It's not meant to be. It's actually kind of meant to be like a bit of a compliment. But as far as Paddy's like level of, how can I say it? Popularity compared to his level of current talent. I'm saying current talent because he's a young kid. And even himself has said, I'm not looking to fight for the title for another 2 or 3 years. You know, I'd say like it's the biggest disparity in terms of popularity and talent level I've ever seen for an MMA fighter. And that's not, again, it sounds bad because the dude's super popular. Obviously, he has a ways to go. He knows that. But man, he's super popular, but I think he loses to every single person in the top 15. I think he loses to some unranked killers too. They're gonna have to take it slow with him. They're gonna have to take it slow with him. And I think they know what they have to. You know, I saw Dana talking about, like, I heard all week about how, you know, this kid's gonna have this insane walkout, and he's like, all right, fine, let's go see you perform then. And then he had an insane walkout, had the 0-2 jump, and he goes out and get the first round sub. You know, he knows that he's a huge star. I think the UFC, you know, I actually thought about this. I was thinking about this earlier this week. Angel, they've got to be angling. They got to be thinking somewhere down the line, Pimblett versus Conor in the 0-2. They got to be thinking. I'm dead serious. I'm dead serious. Like, I'm not saying anytime soon, but with the way Conor's career is going, he's going to be going down, and the way Paddy's going.
How old is Conor right now?
33.
Conor's 33, so in 2-3 more years, when Paddy kind of gets near the rankings, Conor will be what, 30, almost 36, 35, you know, just depending, I don't know what his birthday is. I don't know.
I'm just saying, I could see it happening, dude, just because the way Paddy's going up, man, I think that would make a lot of sense somewhere down the line. Obviously, I'm not saying soon, but
now look,
come on, man, you could sell that fight.
That wasn't the only news that came out of that. We saw the payouts, Josh.
Well, dude, we saw the payouts, dude. He made $112,000 or whatever the fuck. My own personal pet peeve is I see like those Twitter pages, Instagram pages will be like, reported payout for blank. Like, the UFC's not done reported payouts for years, especially not overseas. But, you know, and Paddy saw that and he said, I wish I was getting paid that much. You know, because somebody reported that he got paid $112,000, I think.
That's not the one I saw.
What'd you see?
I saw the one where he made 12 or 12.
No. But he before he talked about his payout, he on Twitter he responded because there was a report that said he got paid $112 from some fucking random Twitter account, and then he replied back, "I wish I got paid that much." And the next day he talked about his pay and he said he got paid 12 and 12. But regardless, dude.
Look, the reason I bring it up, and I'm sorry to cut you off there.
No, go ahead.
It makes sense why he's fighting the guys he's fighting now.
Yeah.
You know? I don't think he's necessarily playing the Sean O'Malley role where, you know, Sean O'Malley's like, you know, where he's out talking, he's like, I am fighting these guys who are ranked. I ain't getting paid enough, you know? But I did you know, I mean, to an extent, I imagine it's, you know, certain kind of the same thing, but not obviously because Paddy has this hype with him and all that. But, you know, doesn't that add a little bit to it now that we know that, you know?
A little bit.
And like someone
I also
said,
think partially that no, go ahead. Sorry.
And I was gonna say, and you know, and I heard some complaints and I listened to a podcast, and they were like, "Shit, he's fought better guys in Cage Warriors than he has in the UFC."
Mm.
I mean, it's not necessarily incorrect, but
no, it's not incorrect because I mean, is Luigi Venturini still in the UFC?
Fuck, probably not anymore. No,
is Kazula Vargas is gonna be gone? I mean, makes him 1-4, I believe. I mean, he's fighting guys that are at the bottom tier of the promotion. So, yeah, I'd actually say he's probably fought better guys in Cage Warriors. I mean, he fought Soren Bach, I believe. A couple other good guys there. Yeah, man, as far as even though – here's why I push back against that idea. Because even though he's fighting these bad guys, he's making 12 and 12, that doesn't make it okay. Like, he should absolutely getting paid – every single fighter in the UFC roster, 12 and 12 is fucking embarrassing. It's fucking embarrassing for $1 billion promotion to pay anybody that little. It's pathetic. That's what it is. I've made this point before. The question's not like the UFC fighter pay argument's over. You know, it's not like argument of how much. The argument should be how much are they getting underpaid? But then you see some shit like this, dude, and you're talking about a guy like. They talked about it all week. How Dave talked about like, oh yeah, his numbers are doing crazy and blah, blah, blah. And you give him 12 and 12? Like, if it were like some bottom tier guy that nobody's ever heard of coming off the Contender Series, Like, there's some guys I have in mind right now, but I'm not going to say them because I don't want to be disrespectful. But, like, if you were there for some, like, lower tier dudes getting
I thought you
paid
were going to say a name, as I say.
I'm pretty sure we both. Type in the chat who you think I'm talking about, because, actually, I'll just type it for you. There's some guys where you're like, oh yeah, they're getting paid 12 and 12. That kind of makes a little bit of sense.
Yeah.
But even then, they should be getting paid. I think 20,000 should be the bare minimum. 20K should be bare minimum.
Is that where you make 40K if you win?
Exactly. I think that should be bare minimum. But even then, 12 and 12, just specifically for a guy like Patty, who they talked about all week.
I wonder why they chose 12. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but like not even 10 or 15, you know, like.
Well,
15.
So here's the way UFC contracts work. He started off 10 and 10. You talk about this, and he's on whenever they for some new guys, they give him the contract where it's like if you win your first fight, you go from 10 to 12. You win your next fight, you go from 12 to 14. Your next fight, 14 to 6. Like it goes up 2,000 each time until their contract expires. Typically, it's 4-fight deal. I believe it's a 4-fight deal. Patty probably has or something like that. But
you hope, right? You don't want it to be that long.
He's already said that, like, yeah, I'm going to try and renegotiate now because. Obviously, Patty's doing fine financially because he has a 7-figure Barstool deal, and he has the he made the performance bonuses for both of his fights. So I'm sure Patty's fine financially. That's not even the issue. It's just like, let's say hypothetically, Patty came in with all this hype this week, helped sell out the O2, and he made $12,000. Like that's pathetic. Like that's honestly, it's fucking embarrassing. So yeah, I mean, like I said, this is just. I understand your point. For why they're giving him these bad guys that shouldn't even matter. Because he's such a huge draw, and he helped bring so many people to that fucking venue. Like, it's just raw. That's
probably most of the people there probably would watch him, too.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. I mean, you saw all the people with, like,
the wig.
The fucking Patty hats on, like his hair,
Yeah.
Like, and they were all singing Patty the Baddie and shit. Like, he's a huge draw. I mean, as far as, like, in the UK, I'd say he's number one, right? Like, he could sell out that arena by himself at this point. Like, the thing about Patty is like, there's some guys come in on, like I said earlier, they're unknown. Nobody knows about them. So when they come in and they make 12 and 12 or 14 and 14, I'm like, oh, that makes sense. Patty was a star before the UFC. Like, it makes no sense. And I honestly, I don't want to, like, I saw that his current manager is actually the owner of Cage Warriors.
Oh, wow.
Graham Boylan.
Okay.
Part of me wonders if that's why he's getting the Raw into the deal. Because, and obviously I don't want to speak out of line, but like, if you have your promotion on UFC Fight Pass, you probably don't want to argue too much with them. But at the same time, you probably should have a different manager then.
So, 2000 IQ, Josh.
I mean, it's just true. I mean, you probably should have a different manager. 12 and 12 is insane. I mean, obviously, he got the win, though. Good for him. I am excited to see what happens next time with him. Because he keeps on winning, dude. You have to give him a top 15 guy, but at some point, he's got to face somebody good. But, he's in his 20s, man. I mean, we have so many other guys come through and, at an older age to do things. Like, fighters peak at different times. Like, some people talk about, like, oh, Patty looks bad. I'm like, dude. For all we know, Patty's going to be the next fucking Glover Teixeira and just he's going to be middling for the next 10 years and then win a title. I mean, who knows? I doubt that, but, this is an MMA, it's an unpredictable game, so on and so forth. I mean, moving on down the card, I think we spent enough time on that. Moving on down the card, you just want to go one down, go to Gunnar Nelson?
I mean, we got to keep going one down, right?
That's what I thought. Yeah, Gunnar Nelson, Gunny, making his return. He's been out of the games for 3 years. And look, dude. Is Takashi Soto a top 15 guy? Is he fighting for the title anytime soon? No. Is he still pretty good and Gunnar Nelson 30-25'd him? Yeah. I mean, what do you think about Gunnar making the return?
I mean, good for him, man. I mean, you want to come back, not the craziest performance, but, he ended up coming out and doing his thing, like, was it anything wild or, super out there? No, but, I mean, he won, and that's what you want to see of a guy returning after a long layoff.
Yeah. And he was extremely dominant. I mean, the judges scored a 30-26. I think you could have, I'm not sure where they honestly got that from, because every single round he had his back. I mean, you can legitimately score 30-24 if you're going by, like, the same scoring criteria. Like, every single round was a 10-8. So for me, I scored a 30-24 simply because, did he do that much damage? No, but, like, Angel, do you remember a single moment? Like, did Takashi Toto even land a punch?
Probably, but nothing significant enough.
Nothing that I can remember. Like, it's just
I didn't get any hurt, moments out of that.
Yeah, I mean, not even, like, he got mollywopped, dude. Like, I'm curious what the numbers are on not, like, just ground control, but, like, back control. Because, dude, I felt like that entire fight, I mean, obviously, we were, shooting the shit, talking, so maybe our potential wasn't, like, completely on it, but, like, I felt like he had his back the entire fight. Yeah, I mean, I just looked it up right now. He had ground control for only 8 minutes, which feels a bit off, but anyway, man. Still a great performance. Love to see it. I'd love to see Gunnar back. He said he wants to fight Santiago Ponzinibbio next. I would love to see that.
Well, too bad that's already booked.
Oh, isn't he fighting Michel Pereira?
Yeah, he's fighting Michel Pereira.
That's a banger, dude.
That's a banger right there. And a good fight for Michel, I think.
I think so, too. I can see either guy winning that, actually.
Yes, I could see that, too.
For sure. Moving on down the card, just one more down again. Molly McCann. Meatball getting the knockout win, my man. You can make an argument that's probably the greatest knockout in women's MMA history. I think you can make the argument.
I mean, it's a beautiful elbow, man.
Beautiful spinning back elbow. I missed it, ladies and gentlemen. I was in the bathroom. I didn't think anything was going to happen. And I just hear shouting. And she knocked out Luana Carolina cold with a spinning back elbow. Insane, dude. Insane. I did see she got some shit afterwards because she carried around the title. What are your thoughts on that, Angel?
It's not a real title. That shit's from that shit's from the UFC store. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
didn't freak out about it. So I thought some people were like shitting on her about it. Like, people were pissed.
Especially since it was a sick finish, man. I mean, that might have been the coolest finish of the night.
I think so. For me, it was. I mean, that was insane, dude. Especially at like a weight class where it does not really happen. Good for her, dude.
But I mean, if there were a way to do it, it would be like an elbow like that, you know?
Yeah. Overall, though, solid win for her. 1-2 in a row. We'll see what happens.
She's stringing them back together, Josh. Title incoming. Never know.
We'll see, dude. Well, I mean, you never know. She has some solid wins, and 125 is a weak division. I'd like to see her get somebody ranked next, personally. But,
possible.
I mean, she fought Talia Santos not too long ago. Talia Santos is fighting for the title, so.
There you go.
We'll see what happens. Moving on, again, one down. Ilia Topuria knocking out Jai Herbert. This is an insane fight, insane performance. He had to survive. He got knocked down in the first round. After a head kick, he comes back, knocks him out in round two with one of those beautiful combinations we'll ever see. A left hook to the body, right hook upstairs, put him out cold. Afterwards, he called out Paddy the Baddie Pimblett. He said he wants to face that blonde fuck. What do you think about that fight next to the both of them?
I mean, it'd be fun. Are they going to make it happen? I mean, probably not. And Ilya is in a pretty good position at 145. Like, he doesn't have to fight Paddy at 155. You know, it doesn't. I don't think it would decrease his stock, but I think if he were to win, if he were to take that fight and he were to lose, I think it would reduce his stock a bit, but not as much as we would imagine, or what some people would imagine.
You know, he said that he would. He said the only way that Paddy would fight him would be if Dana White held him at gunpoint, which I thought was really, really funny. Probably accurate too. I would not want to fight Ilia Topuria,
especially for 12K. No.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, man, I don't think that's next. I think got to fight somewhere down the line, right? I mean, there's been too much shit talk. You know, they nearly fought each other.
I'd rather fight Paddy than Ilya at this point, dude. At least I know Paddy's going to submit me before he knocks me out.
Who knows, man? Who knows?
He might knock me out.
Maybe. He's got hands. He does leave his chin up in the air, though, so maybe you got a shot.
I do have a shot.
As far as the rest of the card, moving on down to the undercard, what are some fights you're looking to highlight?
Sergey Pavlovich coming back a bit thick, man, against Shamil. I mean, he wasn't as cut as he usually comes in, but it's been a long layoff. Maybe he's like, something, maybe I can keep a few extra little pounds on. And, but that's the kind of win you expect out of that. And Shamil's a lot older. He got finished not too long ago. Actually, he was supposed to fight Tom Aspinall on this, and he got downgraded all the way down to the prelims to fight Sergey, which, I mean, they were kind of trying to set up Sergey for success here, I think, to an extent. Or at least give him a comeback fight, and they did. It was nothing surprising to me. But Sergey's back, and I wonder how soon he'll fight again.
Say that again?
I wonder how soon he'll fight again.
Oh, I mean, I'd like to see him get in there and be active, personally, just for me. Because I'm still, dude, Sergey's only 29. Think about how insane that is.
He got pushed all the way to 11.
Yeah, think about how insane this is. He was like 25 when he fought Overeem. That is insane, because you never see a heavyweight below fucking 30. And now we have Sergey, number 11. He's only 29. You got, obviously, Tom Aspinall, who I believe is 28, and he's ranked number 6. Dude, heavyweight's got 2 young monsters coming up, dude. And Shamil Abdurakhimov, obviously, you know, he's struggling a bit lately, but still a bad man. Still a good guy. Still got some good wins under his belt. Still ranked number 12. Yeah, man, I'm high. I did notice it. Yeah, he wasn't as like cut as he normally is, but dude, he still looked good. Had finished him with a great, I believe it was like a right uppercut, I believe, that he put him out with. So that was a great performance by him. But yeah, man, overall fun card. I mean, you know, the Makwan Amirkhani finish is the only time I've ever hated a finish in UFC history.
Is it though? There might be another one in there.
I'm sure. I mean, anytime somebody get injured via loses like finish wise due to injury, that kind of sucks. But like
that is very that's fucking aggravating. Yes.
Yeah, but like poor Mike Grundy, man. I felt so. If you guys don't know the story, Mike Grundy, you know, his dad was in attendance, and his dad has like a terminal illness. And it was like so emotional, and he saw his dad crying in the crowd, and they showed him. He's singing along with his son's, you know, song. He goes in, shoots for a takedown, and gets submitted in 57 seconds. So that sucked.
Shit, it made me sad listening to it again.
Yeah, right. Very devastating.
Fuck, man.
Probably gonna lose his job now too, because he's lost 3 in a row, and he's I believe probably signed a 4-fight deal, so it's probably ended him, sadly. So some lighter news. Paul Craig, dude.
That's a good story right there.
The Bear Jew fights on. 34, says he's going to retire when he turns 35. He's officially changed his mind, Angel.
He did officially? He came out?
Yeah, he talked about it in the post-fight presser. He said he talked with his wife, and she was like, how are you going to walk away from this thing where you're finally doing this at the top level?
Damn.
And you're doing as good as you've ever done. Because you guys don't know, I mean,
she had a word about that?
Under the radar 6-fight unbeaten streak. Under the radar, bro. He's finished Shogun Huba, Jamal Hill, and Nikita Krylov all in a row. And, you know, that Krylov win, he said, you know, I'm going to keep around, man. I'm going to stay around. So I love to see that, dude. Paul Craig.
He called Anthony Smith.
Now. Huh?
He called that Anthony Smith. I don't know if you know that.
I did not know that.
He very respectfully called that Anthony Smith.
I love that fight, dude.
I don't know if they'll do that. I don't think Anthony needs that fight. You know what I mean? I feel like he could be fighting someone.
No, but he'll do it.
Well, knowing the kind of guy he is, yes, he'll do it. And I listened to the Bisping and Smith podcast, and I don't remember exactly what he said, but he wasn't against it.
That's what I love about Anthony Smith, dude. In a UFC full of, like, we'll talk about 2 guys later that love the limelight but won't fight anybody below them. Like, there's some divisions. Welterweight's like a diva division. There are a lot of those, you know, a lot of dudes that refuse.
Well, you know what's funny? Funny enough, what you're saying right now is essentially what you said. He said, I wouldn't fight a lot of guys under me, or I wouldn't fight, you know, a lot of people under me if I was ranked above them. But if there were to be one guy, you know, Paul Craig would be one of those guys that I would fight who's ranked below me. I think is how he works. Something along the lines of that. Mm. And he obviously worded it very well and respectfully, because, you know, that's just the kind of guy he is.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, but regardless, he's fought his last couple fights. All he's done is fight guys ranked below him. I mean, obviously, I don't have the list in front of me right now, but I believe he's on a 3-fight winning streak, I believe, and he's all fought guys below him.
Yep, he's put them together.
Smith. Yeah, I mean, I believe, if we're just going to go real quick, he fought Devin Clark in the main event, November 2020. Devin Clark wasn't even ranked. Jimmy Crute was ranked below him, and so is Ryan Spann. So yeah, Anthony Smith's just that dude. He'll fight anybody. So I'm not surprised he'll take that one. I like to see that fight, but who knows what happens, just because light heavyweight's in a weird position right now with a super long jam, so maybe we'll see what happens. As far as the rest of the card goes, I mean, Jack Shore picked up a nice win, defeating Timur Valiev. Elise Reed got a win over Corey McKenna. Wasn't really sure about the decision, but regardless, it was a close fight. Dude, last fight we're going to talk about Muhammad Makayev defeating Cody Durden.
The best prospect in MMA ever, Josh, I think. Like
ever?
With attention?
All right, I can see it.
Well, granted though, and he's coming up in a way different era of MMA too, Josh. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, dude, he's 21, man. He's only 21.
And he's 30-0 in combat. Officially. I don't know if you knew that, but officially 30-0.
Holy shit, yeah, I didn't see his amateur record.
Yeah, he's officially 30-0 with his amateur record, Josh.
My God.
You didn't know this, Josh? I'm pretty sure I talked about him before him.
No, you talked about him, but I didn't know. I knew that like he was undefeated as an amateur, but I didn't know like he had 22 amateur fights.
Yeah, so he's officially 30-0 with his pro fights and his amateur fights and his one exhibition bout, which I think he includes, which was also an MMA rules bout, but he did it it was under his pro tag or whatever. I don't know. Regardless, though, officially 30-0, Josh. I mean, he hadn't even finished like guys like that at the start of his career, and that was one of his better performances against a guy who had some of the most experience he's ever fought.
Mm-hmm.
And that was solid. And I mean, like I told you, I heard about him like a year and a half ago, like back during COVID, and I think he was going into his fourth professional fight, something like that in 2021. It got announced in 2020, I think, but it got delayed. I don't know. I heard of him a while ago, and he had just turned pro, and now he's in the UFC, and he's doing his thing. And you remember how we talked about our boy Stefan Struve, right? Now how he's doing kind of a journalism stuff, reporter work.
Yeah.
He posted a video, or he didn't post a video. He posted a picture of Mukayev on his Twitter. He was like, I forgot how long ago, but it was when he was like 16 or something. He's like, I don't know, but like so many years ago, I met this kid at this event, and he told me that one day he would be in the UFC, and he was going to do all these things, yada yada. And look where he is now. And he posted a picture of him after his win and all that. So that was a really feel good moment there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, that's honestly awesome, dude. That's an awesome. By the way, shout out Stefan Struve. Let's just go and give that man his shine right now. This man, pound for pound, he's now officially pound for pound baddest journalist in the game. I think I held that title long enough.
I know, Josh.
I do not think I could take on Stefan Struve.
You don't think you can make that weight, Josh? You don't think?
Well, he comes in at 265. I'm walking around at 185 right now. I will do my best to put on almost 100 pounds of muscle. So I can fight Stefan Struve.
You'll be really stiff, but you'll be hopefully very agile.
Yo, hey dude, Mark Hunt is not that much taller than me, and he knocked out Struve. He's only an inch taller, so maybe I can pull up the upset.
Maybe you can pull up the upset.
the betting odds on that are minus 10,000 for Stefan Struve.
You mean for Josh Evanoff?
I'm gonna hope that he like trips and breaks his ankle like on the way to the cage. He's like
in the canvas.
Yeah, I think I held that title down of pound for pound baddest man in the game on the riding side for a long time, but I will give it up to Stefan Struve. I think he can fuck me up, but I'm coming for you, Stefan Struve. I'm your nightmare.
You're taking everything I worked for.
Taking everything I worked for, Stefan Struve. No, jokes aside, shout out that man. Shout him out. I mean, that's awesome to see. It really is.
That's cool. And he had the whole reporter getup, his brown jacket, glasses. I mean, it was a completely different look than what we usually see with just the shorts.
If it wasn't 7 feet tall, you wouldn't even know if it was Stefan Struve.
I know he was in disguise too. It's like Superman, dude. He just throws on those glasses. You don't know who the fuck he is anymore.
He's on some Clark Kent shit, dude. Like he's just, if he wasn't so fucking tall.
The name is Steve, not Stefan. Or Stefan, whatever you want to change it to.
Hey, yeah, he had the whole reporter getup, dude. He looked good,
And I'm happy for him. So who's he working with? I didn't even ask that. Do you know? Or is it an outlet from his country?
Let me see. He's working for Eurosport.
By the way, does this mean he officially retired from MMA, or did he officially retire again?
He officially retired after his loss to
Ty.
Was it Tuivasa?
Yep.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, it was that fight. So
I was gonna say because it wasn't that long ago. He fought like not even a year ago.
Yeah, I mean he talked about retirement before that, but he didn't make it official, and then he went out, fought Ty, and then he lost and made it official. He had a good run too. He had a good run. Not a guy that I think will get any like respect down the line, but always came
Stipe. I'll always bring that up.
That's true. He did beat Stipe, knocked him out. He had some He just not only Stipe did, he knocked out Bigfoot. He beat Big Nog in Big Nog's final fight.
Sag.
Yeah, Sag. He submitted Pat Barry.
Shut up.
Yeah. He had some nice wins under his belt, So shout out Struve, dude. Nice career. Now he's got another career going. So love to see it. Not too many guys are fortunate enough to have a career after they exit the cage, but shout out Struve. Dude, UFC Columbus this weekend.
Which is crazy.
I know. We're back to having crowds. I mean, at least for a little bit, because they're back in the Apex for their next fight night, and for the foreseeable future. So I don't know why they decided to just say fuck it and do 2 of them outside. But regardless,
maybe the opportunity was just there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess so. Originally it was supposed to be Jan Blachowicz, but regardless, he had to pull out. So instead we're getting 2 heavyweights, 2 big boys, back-to-back weeks with the big boys. Curtis Blades taking on Chris Daukaus. 2 dudes who, I don't want to say need a win, but to stay in title contention, they need a win. Curtis Blades, obviously, he's coming off a win. He beat Jairzinho, ranked number 4 in the division. Prior to that, he got knocked out by Derek Lewis, though. Chris Daukaus coming off a loss also to Derek Lewis. Making a fast turnaround, too. He just got knocked out in December, and now he's fighting in March. What do you think about this one in the main event spot?
I mean, it doesn't really excite me. I mean, I think it's probably one of the worst matchups for pretty much anybody in this division, especially a guy like Chris Daukaus, too. I mean, Chris Daukaus has hands, man. Anything's possible on the feet. But I think once it hits the ground, and even then, Curtis is a stand-up design significantly better. I think, man, he's going to give Chris Daukaus a rough time. But hey, man, I wouldn't be surprised if I saw maybe a Chris Daukaus upset here.
Mm. Yeah, I would not be surprised either. I think he's got the ability. Yeah, man. But as far as it goes, Curtis Blades is an interesting guy. I don't think he's ever going to truly get the respect he deserves, just because he's lost at the top of the division. And the way when he's lost has been traumatic. I mean, he got knocked out twice by Ngannou, got knocked out by Derek Lewis, stiffened him up. I'm higher on him than most, so I'm going to take him here. I'm going to take him to beat Chris Daukaus. Just because, I mean, has Chris Daukaus' grappling ability, is it that proven? I feel like it's not.
I mean, he's probably one of those guys who has like a jiu-jitsu and black belt. We just haven't seen it had to be used.
Yeah. And
he's only ever lost via, well, I mean, he does have an Americana loss, but that's very early on in his career. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I don't think he fought Olynyk, but that fight never hit the ground, so we didn't even get to see that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, I mean, fair enough. But I'm just going to take the more proven guy. As far as, like, where the fight's probably going to go, almost definitely going to go to the mat. And, Curtis Blades, even on the feet, is kind of underrated in my opinion. Does he have that insane knockout power? Not really. But whenever he sits down on stuff, he can crack. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm going to take Curtis Blades, though. You're on the same page, or are you going to take Daukaus for the upset?
No, I'm on the same page. Believe me.
Just want to make sure. Co-main event. Interesting fight here. Women's flyweight. Both of these women looking to break into title contention. Obviously, Joanne Wood coming off back-to-back losses. Talia Santos, Lauren Murphy, but that's not too bad considering those are the last 2 title challengers. Taking on the rising Alexa Grasso. Grasso moved down to flyweight in 2020. Rattled off 2 straight wins, Ji Yeon Kim and Macy Barber. She's been out of the cage for a while. February 2021 was the last fight, but she's finally back, still only 28 years old. Who do you got in this one?
Hey, man, I mean, credit to her. She's made some improvements recently. We saw those improvements on the ground when she fought Macy Barber. It was actually her going for the takedown instead of her ending up on her back and having troubles off her back. So it was nice to see that, nice to change. I mean, she's 28 years young, man. I mean, she's in that prime years for an adult, and she's trying to get in that position where she could get to a title. And obviously with the weight change, I don't know how much it's benefiting her. I'm sure it is in some way. But I think she has a good matchup here. She has a pretty to move up again in the rankings and get another win here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm on the same page. I feel bad for Joanne Wood, dude. I honestly feel so bad for her, honestly. That decision whenever Shevchenko pulled out of their title fight, they're supposed to fight obviously UFC 251, that got postponed, and then she stepped in on short notice to fight Jennifer Maia. Yeah, man, she lost that one, and she's not been able to get her way back. It's honestly really depressing. And I think she's not going to win this one either. I mean, I've been high on Alexa Grasso for a long time, even ever since she fought Invicta in her boxing, which was so clean. But, I mean, I forget how young she was, dude. She's only 28 now. Man, I would love to see her work her way up, and I think she's going to get the dub here. I think she's going to continue her ascent in the division. Feels like she's found her rightful division. 125 looks like the right place for her. Very happy for her. Think she's going to get the dub. As far as the rest of the card goes, man, I don't think we only have to move down one. a flyweight title eliminator. I don't know if it's been labeled as that, but it essentially is. Askar Askarov, obviously just the Russian monster. I picked him to end the year as champion. That's totally not going to happen because they're doing the quadrilogy.
Officially, or does it look like that?
From what I've heard, they're going to do it. I don't know if it's confirmed yet, but they're aiming for July. That's what I last heard. For those two guys to fight for the fourth time.
Same.
So do with that information for what you will. So probably won't end the year as champion, but regardless, he is going to be fighting Kai France. Obviously, Kai France, coming off 2 knockout wins over Rogerio Benterin and Cody Garbrandt, both of which have earned performance of the night bonuses. And obviously, Askarov, just an absolute beast of a man. 14-0-1, unbeaten. You see, he had a draw with the former champion, Brandon Moreno, coming off a win over Joe B. What do you think about this matchup, my man?
I love it. I mean, these are the two guys you probably want in this division fighting at this moment in time. I mean, who else would you be wanted fighting? And for Kai Kara, man, finally, dude, he kind of had a nice little streak, had the Moreno loss, rebounds with the Tyson Alm win. Nothing crazy there, right? Tyson Alm kind of not the best win in this division, but it's a tough guy, right? So it's nice to see him get that. Get slowed down by Brandon Royval, which really sucked for him. That I remember seeing that fight, and I was like, damn, that is fucking devastating. Like I don't know why, but in that moment, everything kind of I don't know. For something that loss just looked really bad at the time, especially because I think he was winning that, right? Like he had hurt him during that fight. Like it was looking like his fight, and then he gets submitted, and it was like, fuck, man, like that is not what you want to happen. And look, he's been able to string them together. He has 2 in a row. Cody Garbrandt, Rodrigo Beltran, all first round. Now he's here with Askar Askarov, which is a fucking killer, man. If he can get through him, the title's right there. There's only one man stopping him, and it's the Bullet. But man, Askar Askarov is one bad mamma jam, as you would say, Josh. Beating former title challenger Tim Elliott, Casey's very own, and Pantoja, which is always like, I mean, that guy is like the one other guy in this division too who's right there for a title, and I mean, he might be deserving of it now, without even needing a fight. Obviously, Nasser over Joseph Benavidez, what you had mentioned. I mean, these guys are the top of this division. I mean, there's no one else you want right now. And to me, at this moment in time, Josh, I'm going to pick Askar Askarov. It could change by the end of the week. By the way, it is going to be Kai France this weekend too, on Saturday when he's fighting. So let's see if he can give himself his own little birthday gift. But damn, he's going to have to fight for that birthday gift.
Yeah, man, I'm so hyped for this fight. Flyweight is a division right now, and am I going to watch the fourth fight between them? Yeah. I'm a little bit frustrated.
You are. And I'll be there for it.
No, I know, same. But I'm saying, like, it's a little bit frustrating that they're going to have to fight again, man. Like, what happens if Moreno wins? Like,
he fights Pantoja.
I guess so, but, like, fuck, man. Like, this division is so backed up. Regardless, man, this division down the line, fucking stacked. I mean, if you just, Manal Cape is coming up the division. You got Tim Elliott on a nice win streak. This fight here is going to be a banger. Pantoja's waiting in the wings. Like, awesome division right now, man. Awesome division. And this fight's going to be great. And honestly, looking at the UFC Columbus card, I think we really got to go on, again, one down. I love this main card, dude. I really, really do. I think it's a whole lot of bangers. And this fight's fight of the night for sure. Matt Brown, the immortal, taking on Brian Barberena. Two dudes who so game, man. Obviously Brian Barberena coming off a nice win over Darian Weeks, came in a short notice. Matt Brown earlier this week said he's going to try and fight to his 45, which for a guy who previously retired once and talked about how he's afraid of CTE, definitely an interesting decision. But how hyped are you for this fight?
Josh, he's no longer afraid of CTE.
He is CTE.
I mean, it's exciting, man. It's a older dogs, going in there, some vets, and they're gonna put on a show as they always do, man. I think it's gonna be a fun bout. And I mean, we've talked about Matt Brown for his last fucking 4 fights, man. I mean, clearly we're still entertained. Are you not entertained?
No, Matt Brown is not gonna make the Hall of Fame. He's not, unless it's like a fight that gets inducted or something. Right?
Just you wait, Josh. Just you fucking wait when they need him on short notice to fight Usman.
And he wins the title. I mean, he's not going to be the Hall of Fame, probably not, right? But, dude, always game. You know, I mean, he's in the Hall of Fame of fun fights. Like,
Love that shit.
I'd love to see it, dude. I mean, I've never been bored in a Matt Brown fight. Not a single one. He's just that guy. And his last time out, he knocked the shit out of Diego Lima. Like, Jesus Christ.
Put that man into retirement.
He did. And, yeah, man, I like to see him back. I love to see it. Always be entertained by him. And, you know, again, just one down. It's just one down, Angel. Because he said he wants to fight until he's 45. You know who's actually going to fight until they're 45? Alexei Oleinik is 44. He turns 45 in June. He's still looking for the 60th win.
And it's not easy. It's
not going to come easy. It's not going to come easy. He's taking on Ilir Latifi, who's coming off a win over the GOAT, future champion, Tanner Boser.
Shout out
Tanner Boser, bro. Yeah, man, I'm actually really, really hyped for this old guy fight. Latifi is 38. He's surprisingly, you don't think of him as being like an old guy. He's 38, bro. He's been in the UFC for almost 10 years. I'm hyped for this fight, man. I mean, I am. I'm just gonna be honest. I love Oleinik. He always comes to bang. His last fight with Spivak was a bloody just mess. And, you know, always comes to bang. I love to see it, dude. I'm very, very hyped. Oleinik, he's never been the fastest guy, but you can tell he looks like a fucking zombie in there, bro. Like, he looks so old, man.
You know what he's doing. You see every motion.
Yeah, so I'm not sure how he is still competitive.
I mean, he's going to fight a 38-year-old Ilir Latifi, too, which kind of helps, but it's still a tough out for him, man.
It is. I mean,
former combat Sambo champ, I believe, Ilir Latifi, if I'm remembering right.
I believe so, yeah. Yeah, man, he's wow, he's, you know, like I said, never fast, but he's not been aging gracefully, man.
It happens, man. Especially when you're that big, it happens.
True. You know, as far as the rest of the card goes, man, what are some of the other fights you're looking to talk about?
You know, fights that I'm interested in talking about, but it's not because I'm necessarily super interested, because it throws me off. Neil Magney versus Max Griffin. I was going to say Maxine Griffin. I don't know why, but Max Griffin. I get that Max Griffin's put the wins together, but I'm surprised that Neil Magny took this fight. I guess he just really wanted to get one in. I
guess so. I mean, Neil Magny's a guy that's always going to be active, so I'm not really surprised, but I mean,
I guess he knows none of the guys above him are available. Like, Sean Brady just fought. Jorge Masvidal, he's only going to fight, like, massive names. Wonder Boy, very selective with his fights, and it wasn't that long ago that he fought. Bilal Muhammad, obviously booked. Same with Vicente Luque. Leon fighting for the title. Gilbert Burns booked against Hazmat, and obviously Colby, you know, he just fought a day ago. So, yeah, I get it, but and I guess he's in a really shitty position too. Now that I think about it, now that I'm looking at it in hindsight, but still, though, I'm surprised that he decided to take this one.
Yeah, I mean, and that's not to be an insult to Max Griffin. Max Griffin is actually on a really nice win streak. 2 knockout wins and then a win over Condit. Pretty good. I mean, but he's not ranked, dude. Like,
at all.
He's not ranked.
And Neil Magny's ranked like 8 or 9, something like that.
Yeah, he's ranked number 9. So, bizarre. I mean, it's honestly a bizarre booking. I mean,
on the prelims also, too, by the way.
Yeah, I was about to say, why is this on the prelims? Like,
granted, they could move Mark DeCasey versus Borishev later, but this is a weird one to me. The positioning, the matchmaking, it's all very odd to me. Maybe they got some beef that we don't know about. I don't know.
Maybe. I mean, who knows? It's very strange. It's very strange. I'll watch it though. I think it's gonna be a fun fight. You know, I'm still a big Neil Magny guy. Still only 34 years old. You know, the Haitian sensation. Been around for a minute.
Hey.
You know, he's going on 10 years in the UFC, so shout out him. So, nice, but still bizarre booking, you know. You know, another one I want to talk about, Sam McMahon, Carol Rosa. Another fight that's kind of weird that it's so low in the card, but both of them are ranked, and McMahon just fought Juliana Pena, who's beating her, who's now champion. So, you know, regardless, interesting fight there. The fight, I'm personally, like, if I were to go to outside of all the ones we talked about, obviously, Manon Fiorot, just telling you guys, keep an eye on her. She's 32, so you don't think of her, oh man, she's not a big prospect. Dude, this girl's so fucking talented, dude. Like,
she's got hands.
She's got hands. And she's taking on Jennifer Maia, former title challenger, 33 years old. You don't think of her as being, like, extremely good, but dude, she's some nice wins on her belt. Obviously, everybody talks about, like, Shevchenko. Nobody's been able to challenge her. Only one person's been able to take, as champion, I guess I should say, only one person's been able to take rounds off of Valentina Shevchenko, and that's Jennifer Maia. So,
by the way,
respect.
If she wins this, she's going from 13 to 4. Jennifer Maia is ranked 4.
They're trying to fast track her, and I get it, because they've seen what we've all seen, and she's got so much talent. Like, dude, I mean, I don't know if she'll win this, but if she does, it's off to the races. It's off to the fucking races, dude. Like, that's why they're making this fight. Because they want to put her in title contention as soon as they can.
Well, and I'm guessing they know, too, after Talia Santos, they're kind of out of options.
Yeah, I mean, essentially. They really are. I'm psyched for this fight, though. I'm very, very excited for this one. I think the only last real fight kind of note.
Oh, come on, Josh. There's still a few more.
All right, fine. You go ahead.
I don't know. Which one you're going to say? I'll let you go. It might be a different one.
I was going to say Matthias Nicolau taking on David Dobrak.
Yeah, no, that's a banger right there.
2 ranked flyweights.
Why is the positioning, once again, man? I mean, this could arguably be on the main card.
It should be on the main card.
Especially since these guys both come out to bang. Like, these guys are guys who are capable of finishing. They've had great performances. I mean, these are some other of the best prospects out of this division. Win or lose, I mean, in the future, they're still going to look good and make their way potentially to either a high ranking or even a title position, I think.
Yeah.
In my humble opinion.
No, I agree. I mean, personally, especially Nicolau, I'm very high on. That's not a shot at David Dobrak, because he's actually on a very nice winning streak.
I mean, just you wait, Josh. I mean, David
greatest nickname, by the way, Undertaker. So, shout out to him. 23.
Now,
yeah,
Josh, now, we talked about him last week, Josh. Chris Gutierrez, maybe not fighting the best of competition this week. No hate to his opponent, but I don't know him. I don't know if is he in UFC? No. He's been around for a little bit now.
Yeah, he's been around for a minute.
Been around for a minute, and he's no notable mains under his belt yet.
Show some respect to Brandon Davis, bro.
I know, right? What a cock. But we mentioned it, man. He's on a very subtle little win streak, and if he gets one here, another one under his hat, dude. Especially at 135. I mean, if he can get once he gets into those rankings, man, I mean, he's going to be able to string those wins again. Nice little record. I know he's 30 years old. He's hitting that nice little age, where you start getting into the title position or even fighting for the title and defending your title if you have it. I mean, let's see, man, if you can get it here again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. Gonna be a fun fight. I know you're super high on Chris Gutierrez, El Guapo. He's on a nice winning streak, we talked about it last week, obviously, but, like, under the radar winning streak, too. Like, I mean, you don't, whenever you think of, like, long winning streaks, you don't think of Chris Gutierrez, but he's fucking there, dude. Like, he's there as far as, like, an unbeaten streak. I mean, what's the number, 7 now? Like, something insane.
Is that the longest win streak? Well, no, we have guys around the field.
No, we have much longer guys. But regardless, in terms of long winning streaks, or not even winning streaks, that he'd have, like, a draw in there, but, like, unbeaten streaks. Like, he's doing good, bro. He's doing good. I believe that's all the fights to talk about as far as UFC this week, but man, where do we begin with this? We're going to hit a couple of current events. There's going to be some fight announcements. Actually, outside of this story we're about to talk about, it could be all Bellator stuff. So if you're not a fan of Bellator, you might as well shut the fuck, like, just stop after we talk about this part. But
why don't you just delete yourself after this?
Just delete yourself, bro. Actually, that sounds way too mean. Don't delete yourself. You can just stop listening after talking about this. But you guys don't have to delete yourself. I'm sorry, dude. So obviously, Jorge Masvidal, Colby Covington fought UFC 272 earlier this month. I said after the fight, we talked about it, and I said it's a controversial opinion. These two will fight each other down the line. I did not know the venue would be the Poppy Steak Bar in Miami, Florida, just 3 weeks after it fucking happened. After the original fight, Jorge Masvidal and Colby Covington rematched outside the Poppy Steak Bar. By the way, imagine being a grown man and getting arrested outside Poppy Steak. That's all I'm saying.
Hey man, they only have a 4.1 rating. It can't be that good.
Which is bullshit, because, by the way, imagine getting food and you get free UFC pay-per-view. Like, I mean, anyway, so apparently Colby Covington out just enjoying himself, just big chilling with the Nelka boys. The combined IQ in that room has to be like 4. And they're out there, they're chilling. That's actually kind of a bit of a joke because I actually kind of like the Nelka boys. I like the podcast, but they're chilling. And I guess Jorge Masvidal is either getting, we still don't know the story. I don't want to speak out of turn because obviously there's the law involved, Angel. There is jail time on the line, okay? But apparently Jorge Masvidal is either by the venue or he gets word of this or something, and he is there. He goes to the Poppy Steak Bar or he arrives, and he punches Colby Covington upwards of 4 times, in which case he breaks he breaks out a tooth or 3, allegedly. He damages Covington's wrist, apparently, allegedly. And he said that he shouldn't have been talking about his kids, allegedly. Angel, first reaction, because we've not talked about this. I've been quiet on social media about it, because there's so many jokes I want to make, but I'm holding myself back. What do you think, Angel? First, evaluation of the situation.
Look, I do not give a fuck, Josh. I know that might offend some people. Look, is it good to cause the public disturbance? No. But was I entertained hearing about it? Yes. I'm sure there were some people out there who were terrified. They didn't know what the fuck was going on. They don't know who these 2 guys are. But hey, man, you kind of knew that with these guys this was going to happen. I even told you before. I'm like, the only way this gets finished is with someone getting actually hurt. And I'm talking in real life or in the octagon, like actually, like if the fight would have ended in a finish, I think the guys would have been like, all right, yeah, you got your bit,
Mm-hmm.
I doubt if the guy would have got knocked out or submitted, either one of them, they would have kind of kept going. Like they probably would have been like, okay, we kind of dealt with this in a way to an extent. Obviously, there'd still be some anger and animosity. They probably still wouldn't be able to see each other, but this probably wouldn't. I imagine, I don't know, this wouldn't have happened if the fight would have ended like that. Mm-hmm. And now they just made it easier to make a second fight.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about the second fight, man. I mean, have you seen like the response online to the situation?
Oh, everybody's giving Colby shit. Yeah.
Really? I've seen the opposite. I've seen everybody giving Jorge shit.
I've seen that, but from like people who are fighters and people in the media. Okay. Stuff like that. But it's like, it's because it's, how do I put this, Josh, without sounding like a fucking child? It's not adult behavior.
It's not. And look, I don't want to victim blame here because Colby Covington is if the story is true that he got jumped, he's quite literally a victim. Quite by the letter of the law, he is. But at the same time, like, Angel, imagine you're talking to somebody about this who they don't know the situation. And they ask you, why did this happen? Like,
I think if you take out the whole, they're professional fighters and you explain this from the perspective, like I tell you, mm-hmm. I give you the whole story. These guys used to be roommates. Guy didn't pay rent, then didn't pay money to the person he owed, and then guys talking shit to him about his girl and about his kids, and then other guys talking shit back. They're having a whole back and forth, and that's the end of it, right? No fight, no any of that included. They'd be like, well, yeah, you kind of put it into perspective, then yeah, this is a bit out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, look, here's my opinion, and it's actually, I'm not sure if this is controversial or not, but it's like, people ask, like, should Cole be allowed to talk about the things that he does? Like insulting Poirier's wife, his kids, Masvidal's kids, his family, saying just outlandish shit, all the time. It's like, I don't think it should be questioned whether I should talk. Like, for sure. No point in censoring him, right? But at the same time, if you're gonna chat that shit, you ought to be prepared for the consequences. And this is the consequences. Like, that may sound like a bit like victim blaming or like, Josh, this is not the street. But it's like, dude, these are grown men in the fight business, dude. Like, Jorge Masvidal and Colby Covington both said it's on site if they see each other.
And it was.
And it was on site.
For one guy.
Keep that same energy, dude. Like, keep that same energy. I mean, that's just my opinion. Like, nobody should care what I think, but like, if you're gonna, somebody took a quote and I saw it. It's like, Colby said, like, if he sees him outside, he's gonna slam him on his head.
I saw that clip too.
It's like, so why are you pressing charges? Like, Like, if you said it's on site, then it's on site, dude. Like, somebody be like, oh, somebody's gonna reply, it's like, oh, but he jumped him. It's like, do you not know what on site means? Like, like, he didn't give Colby time to put on the gloves. Like, no, man, like, it's on site. That's what that means. Like, they both said it. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, this is the fourth time Colby's been involved in a fight outside the cage. At some point, I'm not gonna blame the other guy.
Really?
Like,
the fourth time? What were the other three that I don't know?
He fought, years ago. He fought our boy, Crazy Horse.
That's weird.
In either a UFC event or some regional MMA event. They fought in a crowd, right?
Can Crazy Horse be legally allowed into a UFC event?
Probably not, actually. But it was some regional event, and him and Crazy Horse got into a fight. He fought Kamaru before their first fight. They fought it might have even been after their first fight. In like a casino in Vegas, they saw each other.
Was that? I don't remember that. Okay.
Yeah, you can look it up. There's like video of it. Like Kamaru was trying to chase him down. It's a whole thing.
That's comedy.
I mean, it is. I mean, I don't think Colby called the cops on that one, but he called the cops whenever Fabricio Verdum after he called him. By the way, let's just point out, all of this has come from shit that Colby's talking. At a certain point, I'm not, like, it's not a mistake that this is happening. Like, I saw somebody tweet out something like, fighters, for in a fight business, we actually see, for guys that are, like, literally fighting all the time, you see a surprising little amount of people fighting outside the cage, right? And Colby's been
involved.
Which
is a good thing. Which is a good thing.
But Colby's been involved in 3 of them, actually 4 of them. And I was like, dude, why do you think that is? Like, it's like, it's not a mistake. He made fun of Kamaru's dead coach. He tried to fight him. Made fun of Jorge's kid. He tried to fight him. Justin Poirier said it's on site. He made fun of his kid and his wife. Like, Fabricio called his nationality. He called him animals or something. I don't remember what the exact quote is. It's like, what do you think this is happening for? Like,
who the fuck knows what he said? The Crazy Horse.
Yeah, God knows. I mean, if we're being honest here, I'll give him a pass for that one. Like,
it's probably both ways, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I love Crazy Horse as like a personality, but like,
he's something.
Yeah. Just my opinion. I mean, it goes both ways, man. Like, you can't be surprised when this shit happens. You can't. And did you see Habib's response about this?
I forgot. It was essentially that he should get blacklisted.
Essentially saying, like, guys, don't take a fight against this guy. This guy is saying crazy shit about family, and how are you gonna press charges when you're fighting a guy out in the street?
And he's not wrong about that. I know
he's not wrong.
Some people got butthurt about that.
People are extremely butthurt about this whole situation.
Everybody has a perspective, everybody has an opinion, right? And like I tell you, there's a lot of and it might be because of the kind of community that's in MMA. No hate. You know what I'm talking about, Josh, not to get into any other...
We're not going to get into it, but I know exactly what you mean, yeah.
You know exactly what I mean. I already know we're going to get into trouble. I mean, fuck, if we were any bigger, we'd be getting into trouble for even saying that. But,
Yeah, because you're not allowed to say the stuff that... I mean, let's just be honest, dude. Like, a lot of people are taking the stance like Colby's some, like, insane victim. I'm like, dude, like, is he a victim in the sense of the law? I suppose so.
Know something, and it's one of those situations where I think people should really consider. It's like, dude, how much verbal shit could you take from someone? Like, fuck, dude, I get tired if anybody would talk about my family constantly like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, honestly,
I want to look, and this is coming from someone who personally doesn't take anything like that super to heart, because I'm like, they're just words, and I know for some people words hurt a lot. For me, Josh, I'm kind of like on the sense of like, do you know who the fuck I am, kind of deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's gotta be frustrating, dude, because at the same time, it's like...
And the only reason I'm bringing that up is because he does know who the fuck he is.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's also, you gotta know, like, the audience, dude. Like, if he really didn't expect Jorge Masvidal to fight him, like, dude, like, it's just... Like, what do you mean? Like,
yeah, you gotta think about the kind of guy you're telling it to, too. If there's one guy in the UFC who you would tell that to and would do something about it, it's probably that guy.
Yeah, I mean, it's just bizarre that, like, I feel like people are getting so butthurt. It's like, dude, did we not all watch... Like, did we not all watch Habib jump out of the cage and fight Dylan Dennis and be like, holy shit, that was awesome. Like, are we really gonna get all butthurt, dude? Like, this stuff happens all the time. But yet, for some reason, I feel like Colby's like, we're treating him like he got murdered, dude. Like, I don't know why. I mean,
we never footage of this. I would love to see exactly what happened.
And I think that's part of it, too. I think part of it is that we don't know the story that happened, so I feel like we're probably taking, like, a different stand.
Like, I don't know if Jorge just fucking pulled up to the steakhouse and, like, didn't even say anything to even get a
Or was he already there, or what's the story? Because they both live in Miami. I mean...
Yeah, exactly. Or if, like... I don't know. Like, he just saw him. He's like, oh shit, it's time to go. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because they both said it's on site.
Or maybe they were both there and they were civil. Nothing went on. Then some shattering occurred. You know, there's a lot of things that I don't know what happened.
Yeah, we don't know the story. And maybe we should be waiting to comment on it. But it's like, if this is the fourth time that this has happened, it's like, at what point do we be like, you know, I've heard a quote, and I think I've said it on the podcast before, but it's like, you run into an asshole in the morning, that guy's an asshole. Just a random guy. You run into him, he's an asshole. If you run into assholes all day, maybe you're the asshole. You know what I mean? Like, it's just true, though. If you're finding problems with every single person, it's like, maybe you're the problem. If Colby Covington has gotten into 4 fights out of the cage that we know of, only 4, it's like, and that's not to say Jorge's innocent. Jorge should not have done what he done. And Jorge's also had shit outside the cage. This is his second one. But it's like, Colby's gotten into so many incidents outside the cage. At a certain point, when do you go like, oh, maybe he's doing something?
The other one was with Leon, right? Way back when?
Yeah, the Leon one.
Man, those guys should have fought.
Leon didn't press charges. Come a long way since that.
I know, right? He might reconsider now. No,
I don't know. It's just so, people are going to take this as me defending Jorge. I'm not. He should not have done what he did. But at the same time, it's like, I'm not going to feel bad for Colby either, personally. It's just my mindset of it.
I feel bad for no one, dude.
Exactly. I don't feel bad for anybody. I feel bad for...
These are 2 30-year-old men. They know what they do.
Both 2 grown men in their 30s. Like...
Yeah. One's almost 40.
Jorge's 37, Colby's 35. Like, guys... Come on.
That's what I'm telling you. That's why I really don't give a fuck. I was like, fuck it. Let them fight. They should have let them fight. If I were the 2 cops, I would have been like, man, I would have been like, yo, can we enact, trial by combat right now?
According to the police report, Jorge rolled up with his friends. This is obviously all alleged. Jorge rolled up with his friends. He had like 2 of them with him, I think. And he hit Colby 4 times, and Colby ran into the restaurant to call the police. I guess Colby was obviously there with the Nuck Boys, which imagine having that. Like, imagine it's Colby with the Nuck Boy versus Jorge and his crew. That'd be so funny.
Well, the Nuck Boys have security. I'm surprised the security didn't step in there to help him out. But I guess they're not his security. But
yeah, but I guess the story is apparently Colby walked out, and I guess Jorge was outside, and he punched him, and Colby ran inside to call the police. So
I tell you, I'd love to see if there was footage of this.
Yeah, there's no footage yet. Which, by the way, imagine like Jorge Masvidal, his crew's there. Colby Covington, he's there. The Nuck Boys are there. A whole restaurant full of people on like a Sunday night.
And it's packed because it's a Sunday night.
And there's no footage. None.
No one had their phones out. What the fuck?
I mean, I get what Masvidal and his team wouldn't if they're truly going there to jump Colby.
Shit, people are quick to pull out their phone during a school shooting, but not during a fight at a steakhouse.
That's a good point. It's, yeah. I don't know. I guess we'll see the update on the situation. I guess Colby is going to press charges, so
officially.
We'll see what happens there, I guess.
Probably nothing.
Yeah, I don't even know what to say. I guess we should go ahead and get back to actual fight-related stuff.
Hey, they did fight. Not very long.
Yeah, not very long, but they did fight. We have some updates to the Bellator Bantamweight Grand Prix. Obviously, officially, the first round set to go down next month, but we've had some stuff. Sergio Pettis, the champion, is out. He's supposed to fight Rufon Stotts, and I believe those guys are actually teammates, but he's out, man. He had to pull out. He's going to be out for the entire tournament. James Gallagher also out. And the new bracket, Juan Archuleta, is now in. He will fight Rufon Stotts, but also to go ahead and replace, him, they're going to have Leandro Higo fight the winner of a, oh my god, I don't remember these guys' names. I'm going to send you the bracket real quick. I should have done this beforehand, but he's going to be stepping in. They're going to have 2 guys fight to replace him, and the winner will fight Leandro Higo.
They have like a title, like not a title eliminator, but essentially a fight
eliminator? By the way, the winner of the Archuleta Stotts fight is going to be interim champion.
Oh shit! So that person will officially be carrying the title.
Correct. And also, Enrique Barzola, Josh Hill, winner fights Magomedov. So I just sent you the bracket right now. So that's just a quick little update as far as that goes. That's officially going to start next month. So
I mean, that's kind of cool with the wild card. Obviously, it sucks because the champ's out and then we lost another guy, but at least it was on both ends of the bracket, so it kind of makes it fun, I guess.
It works out all right. It does suck though, because I was psyched to see Sergio Pettis versus Wolfgang Stotts. That'd be an excellent fight. I mean, Warren Gillette is still fun. That shit.
We could see the channel change 3 times during this, Josh.
It's possible. It's possible. It's gonna be fun though. It's gonna be fun. Sadly, James Gallagher, I feel like this is going to be his time, man, because I feel like we haven't seen him against much high-level competition, outside of his last fight, obviously, and that was a good fight. So it's a damn shame, but it happens, man. It happens. Yeah, still sucks though. Still sucks. But that's not the only Bellator-related news. Bellator 281, which I believe is set for the UK. It's supposed to be Michael Venom Page taking on the champion Yaroslav Amosov. MVP finally getting his shot at gold. Amosov making his second title defense, I believe. But obviously, Amosov had to pull out due to the ongoing war in Ukraine. He's actually in the military. He enlisted. As a result, Logan Storley's in. Interim title fight. Angel, what do you think about this matchup, my man?
I mean, it's still a banger. Obviously, for Logan, great case. Obviously, he doesn't have to get one more to fight the champ if it would have stayed as Asimov. Yeah. And obviously, honorable choice by him to do that. And obviously, I'm sure a lot of people have a lot of respect for him. I saw a lot of people on Twitter, a lot of people on Instagram liked that post, actually, when ESPN's MMA division posted that. I think it was them. And yeah, a lot of love on that post, obviously, and a lot of respect for him for deciding to stay home. And as recently, a lot of athletes that did go and go to participate to help are actually not staying there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I mean, as far as the fight goes, I enjoy the fight. But man, it's hard to really. I don't want to say care, but it's hard to think about this fight even go down. I feel props to Yaroslav Amosov. Props to the Klitschko's. Props to I mean, who am I forgetting? Usyk. Apparently Usyk might leave. I've heard that he got clearance.
He officially crossed the border into Poland.
Well, that's from my Covington. We gotta wait.
That's what.
I mean, hey, not to I hate being that guy that talks down to other reporters. I saw that he's the one who announced that Usyk was going to be leaving, and Usyk's manager said for him to shut the fuck up because he doesn't know anything that's going on with his fighters. Literally added him on Twitter. So I don't know if it's officially yet. He's the only one I've seen report that he's left and that he's going to leave.
That changed. So.
Okay, fair enough. So
I don't know. I'm not saying that it changed. I'm just saying what I heard changed after him.
Oh, okay. So fair enough. Yeah, I know Lomachenko is also staying, so I'm surprised that one of them's staying, one of them's leaving. But regardless, yeah, props to everybody in that situation. I'm psyched for this fight. I mean, I think it's going to be a good fight. Venom Page.
It's still kind of the same matchup for Page.
Similar matchup, very. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not like it changed a lot for him.
Yeah, and if MVP wins, we hopefully will get that Amosov fight down the line. Incredible matchups. And if Storley wins, you get Storley versus Amosov. Storley's still the closest one to ever give him problems. So.
Yep, his only loss. So he'd get his rematch, and he would get to get the title against him. Like, what other way would you want that to go down, right?
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Last bit of news, Bellator-wise, last bit of news for MMA in general. Benson Henderson has re-signed with Bellator. He said he's thinking about retirement, Eagle FC, and Bellator. He decided to make the move. He's going to re-sign with Bellator. His first fight, Peter Queally in Bellator Dublin, I believe in May. What do you think about that? What do you think about him re-signing as well?
Fun matchup, obviously in Dublin, which is fun. They've given Peter Queally a lot of Dublin opportunities, so good for him too, and getting another big fight, so good for him as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. It is. I like the matchup a lot. Also, dude, I'm hyped that Benson resigned. Simply because, like, at a certain point, I was like, man, Benson
you didn't want him
retired.
You didn't want him in PFL. You didn't want him in Eagle FC.
No, I think if he was going to stay anywhere, I thought he was going to be anywhere. It should be in Bellator. I think he's made his name there. Not really made his name, but like. He's obviously done a lot for that company. When he came over, he's one of the first ones to come over when Bellator first started gaining traction around like 2015, 2016. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. He's had a couple of bangers there. I mean, he's been in Bellator longer than he's been in the UFC, I believe. Like, he's been there for a long time. Obviously, his last fight, dude, Islam Mamedov, he gave him like a huge upset loss. And even though he lost, like, Brent Primus, that fight was a banger. And I'm happy to see him back. And Peter Queally, probably that fight's set for September. I thought it was May. Jesus
Nope,
Christ.
September, yeah.
Yeah, so they booked that one way out in advance. Yeah, Bellator Dublin though, and the winner of that, you gotta expect will be near the top of the title conversation. Benson wins. I mean, I'd like to see him get a title shot personally. I mean, I think he deserved it. I'm surprised he didn't get one after he beat Masvidal, because I remember he talked with Scott Coker. He's like, so hypothetically, what do I have to do to get a title shot? And Scott was like, beat Masvidal, who was like this unbeaten. I think Masvidal had one loss, or he was unbeaten. I don't remember, and he did. So, regardless, he's fighting the guy who fought for the title last, but not getting the title shot. Yeah, man, super hyped for it. As far as MMA, boxing, anything goes, is there anything else you want to talk about before we close out?
Nothing in particular. I think we covered everything pretty well. I mean, next week we have no MMA, Josh, which is kind of devastating, but then we come back with a pay-per-view, and hopefully I'll get to see you for that.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, no, I'll be there. Don't worry about that.
Okay.
I'll be there. I have no plans, but yeah, that'll be fun, man. Sadly, no MMA next week. Obviously, this is an MMA-packed week, so I'm not really worried about stuff to talk about. We'll fill it up. We might get some fan questions. It's been like been a long time since we've done that, actually. So we'll see.
Which is a good thing, too.
Yeah, I don't like doing it too often, but every once in a while, it's always nice. Yeah, man, hope you guys enjoy the show. I'm at Josh Evanoff on Twitter, as always, at @AngelTaker_01. At Courtside Sound for all things relating to the show. Hope you guys enjoyed. Peace and butt grease. Mouse click.